Live is Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley. She's a former ambassador to Malta and distinguished fellow at the Atlantic Council and International Affairs think tank. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. So Iran did go to Pakistan to meet mediators. On to Russia next. Iranian diplomacy seems to be in full swing. Is this about gathering diplomatic allies?
Thank you so much for having me. Well, certainly it is about gathering allies. They will hope that mediators and allies will be able to add to the pressure that the United States feels to bring relief to the world's economies, because these countries, Russia, China, other countries in Asia, the countries in the Gulf, economies are all suffering from this full closure of the Strait of Hormuz. That is one thing that they're doing. And of course, they are working with mediators to find that sweet spot of what can be offered and what holds to their main concern, which is their right to enrich uranium under international law. And so that position is very far from the U.S. position, but finding a creative way to bridge that gap is certainly underway now.
And Ambassador, Donald Trump says the US has all the cards, and if Iran wants to talk, they can come to us or they can call us. It's a bit of a cooling off from being very keen on the idea of negotiating. What message do you think that's sending?
Well, the first thing is, of course, is that it's lowered the hyperbole that the president has been using in the last few months, where he made some really outrageous comments, and he seems to be listening to his advisors to tone it down. So we have that, and that's good because the comments weren't helpful. They just put the Iranians back up when what we need is compromise and level heads. The other thing, of course, is that he's not entirely wrong. The United States can hold this blockade. It's not without its consequences. Our partners and allies are certainly making clear the pain that's being felt, but the Iranians are in danger of having too much oil. They have limited facilities to store it. Their oil wells could be damaged, some permanently. And of course, the inability to import goods as well as sell oil. They're losing over $100 million a day with this blockade. So the pressure really is on Iran, especially.
And just briefly, Ambassador, if we can, a familiar refrain from President Trump is that this could come to an end very soon. Is there any real weight left in that comment that's been used so much?
Unfortunately, no, there is not. We've heard it many times before. So at this point, the proof is in the actions and the announcements from both sides, agreed language. And that's what we're going to have to wait for.
OK, Ambassador Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
My pleasure.